What is going on, guys? It's Hedge. I'm actually in a new place, an entirely new living area, and today we are drawing David Joyner and Barney, as well as talking about some of the recent news, or rather, lack thereof, yet things that people are finding out about Barney because we really need to discuss this. So the piece in the background right here is David Joyner, of course, long time body performer for Barney the Dinosaur, as well as him holding the Barney doll from seasons 2 and 3 of Barney and Friends. I thought that would be a really fun thing to do, and I don't know why it took me this long to do a piece like this, but here it is, and it's really nice. I think it turned out pretty well. So yeah, let's talk about some of the things that have been happening in the Barney sphere over the past week and a half, because I've seen a lot of people freaking out, some for good reasons, some just blown out of proportion, I think. And it's easy to see why, because there's a lot of things going on in the background of Barney's presence that a lot of people don't know about, and honestly probably shouldn't know about, because it just causes a lot of speculation, a lot of concern, when in reality there might not be too much cause for that. So why don't we go ahead and get into it. I was alerted by Kaylin of Terrific Tributes recently, who was alerted by Mr. K from Mr. K's Clubhouse about the trademark database, which everyone knows. Barney's a trademark, of course. Duh, Barney's a dinosaur. You don't want people stealing that. Anyway, I don't know why I had to explain that. We were alerted, they found that the Barney and Friends trademark is apparently dying out this year. Basically, what that means is, Barney and Friends aired in 1992. The trademark for Barney and Friends was filed in 1992, but it wasn't fully registered until 1993. And every 10 years or so, that trademark got renewed. Them saying, hey, we're still using this trademark, so just keep it in there. So every 10 years or so, they would renew it. So I believe it was 2002, it was renewed again, and in 2012, it was renewed again. The reason this is important is because, like I said, Lions Partnership would renew the Barney and Friends trademark just about every 10 years. Now it's 10 years, it's 2022, and apparently Lions Partnership was sent a letter of final refusal. Basically, that means is trademarks don't expire after a certain amount of time like copyrights do. Copyrights, it's like every 100 years or something like that. And the reason for that is because Disney wanted to keep Mickey Mouse out of public domain. So they, in a way, made it so that copyrights will expire after like 100 years or so. They used to be shorter. But trademarks don't do that. Trademarks will run out if the property is not being used for a significant amount of time. And being that Barney and Friends went off the air and out of production in 2010, it's been like 12 years without Barney and Friends having any new significant production or episodes coming out, or they're not doing anything with it. And so apparently Lions Partnership was issued a final refusal, basically saying that if you don't tend to this in the next 6 months or so, that trademark could completely die out. And from what we can tell, there hasn't really been any movement on that. And keep in mind, they were issued this final refusal, it seems to be like May of 2021. So like already last year, a year ago. Unless we're missing something, it looks like there hasn't been any movement at all on that. And that's been prompting some concern for people in terms of Barney himself, but also the show that had been on the air for 30 years. It's got a documentary coming out sometime this year, I don't know. And it's got a lot of people worrying, like, what is going to happen with Barney and Friends? Are they actually going to let it die out? Because even now, like, we don't have any official information on if Barney's coming back, if there's going to be a reboot. We don't know. There hasn't been anything. And I also want to preface this by saying, please do not message the voice actors, suit performers. Don't message Bob West, Carrie Stinson. Don't do that to anyone about this, because 99.9% chance they don't know what's going on. I don't think anyone really knows what's going on except for the people at Mattel and Lions Partnership. So if something's happening, if something's going on, let them handle it. This is none of our business. It's just, again, trademark database is public record. So it's just things that we're looking at and paying attention to. And again, don't go to anyone asking about this, because it's no one's business. It's just a very strange thing. On the bright side, we did find out that there was a brand new trademark filed for Barney back in November of 2021, and it detailed things like video production, game streaming, that kind of stuff. And it seems to be everything that Barney and Friends was. That's what it was detailing. So we were looking at that and being like, okay, so even if they let Barney and Friends die out, that doesn't mean that Barney himself is not protected. It was filed for Barney for new content, whatever it may be. It was a broad range of content. So again, like, even if Barney and Friends, the show and the title, dies out, that could easily just mean that they want to refresh and reboot everything as a whole. And it's important because, again, Barney has been off the air and out of the public eye for 12 years. And basically what that means is, aside from the very small niche fan community we have and the fan groups and stuff like that, Barney has essentially fallen into obscurity. And, you know, again, like, aside from people recognizing him every now and then, like, even when I would wear my Barney backpack at work, people would look at it and be, oh, that's Barney. That's from I used to watch that on PBS. I'm like, yeah. And everyone knows Barney. But not many people can remember exactly what the show was, aside from the theme song and him being a dinosaur and I Love You. Like, that he's fallen into this weird pop culture obscurity through no one's fault of their own. It's just when it went out of production, that was essentially it for a long time, and there hasn't really been too big of a push to get him back, aside from like the baby Barney pitch that went terribly, and rightfully so. People were saying hopefully the Barney documentary can bring him back in a positive light. I hope so. I don't think that would prompt any sort of production to start back up because of that, because it's a documentary. I don't see people watching the documentary and then being like, oh yeah, let's get Barney back. It's just going to be a nice thing to watch and get some insight on the production of what the show was over the past 30 years. So again, I'm looking at this as a very optimistic thing. If Barney comes back and refreshes, I would love that. I would love to see what they can do to freshen things up while keeping things relatively similar to what they have been. You need to keep that same flow and that same creative energy that Barney has for the past, well, from his peak at least. You know, get people back from the original board. Get people back from the early Barney and Friends seasons, even the lyric era. Like, get Stephen White. You know, get people like that up if you are intending to bring him back, because that is what people latch onto the most. That's what people recognize the most. And I feel like if you are going to do something like that, you need to come back with a bang, especially with how long he's been gone. So yeah, that's just what we found. There is a new Barney trademark that is living right now that was filed back in November of 2021. So at the very least, Barney is still around, or it will be around for the foreseeable future from what it looks like. The last thing I wanted to talk about is the Barney YouTube account, which we talked about in the last ArtStage. If you haven't seen that, go ahead and watch it. It was the Barney bag drawing that I did. We talked about the Barney YouTube channel, and we're going to talk about it again because they are doing something very strange. So we talked about last time, they uploaded Barney's Magical Musical Adventure, again, which is a home video released in 1992, and it was right after season 1 of the show had wrapped up. And now, you know, Barney's YouTube channel doesn't always upload content that predates like 2001 or 2002. It's usually the hit entertainment years that they would put on the channel and then just loop that and recycle it over and over again. they put out Barney's Magical Musical Adventure, and in the description, one thing they never do is that they put the Barney.com webpage in the description, and they never ever do that. They usually just link to the YouTube channel. They link the Barney.com website, which redirects to Mattel, so that site might not actually be up yet, from what it looks like. Recently, they uploaded Barney Live in New York City, put the webpage in the description again, but this time they still don't have a thumbnail. And that's very bizarre because Barney's Magical Musical Adventure also did not have a thumbnail. And it's weird because they always put in the effort to do that. They always put in the effort to make a brand new thumbnail or something for the new uploads, and they just did not do it. And it looks really gaudy. People, I was talking to people on Facebook, and they were saying that could be a way of mirroring other popular uploads around that time, because if you go on YouTube and you search up Barney, the very first like 5 or 6 uploads will probably be from the YouTube channel, and then everything else is a re-upload of a home video or an episode or something, and they don't have thumbnails. They just have like a random still from the video. And those videos will usually have like 1 million views, 100,000 views, and they're like big views. And I thought that was a weird tactic because that could possibly work, but Barney's never really needed to do that to get views. Like Barney would be doing pretty well, like view-wise. And I feel like if that's a strategy that 9 Story is doing, I want them to understand that those videos that have like millions of views have probably been on YouTube for like 10 years or so. Like it's not like a new thing, you know? So I think it's really bizarre. Also, the newer uploads that are coming out don't seem to have like a link to a playlist or at least for Barney Live in New York City, I could be wrong, but I don't remember seeing anything describing what Barney is. Normally they'll do that, it'd be like Barney and Friends is a show where these dinosaurs come together to talk about imagination. They'll do that, but I don't think I saw that in the description for Barney Live. It's all just really strange. Also, the footage quality for Barney Live is not the greatest that they could have used, but that's par for the course for this YouTube channel. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Something very bizarre is happening, and I hope it's for the better, because I saw that. I actually didn't. I saw on Facebook that somebody was talking about how they uploaded Barney Live in New York City, and I went to the YouTube channel and saw there was no thumbnail, and I was like, what? Did they give up? like what is happening right now? It's so bizarre. But again, I'm hoping this is something that will come back, and you know, they're like, oh, we were trying to refamiliarize you guys with the old times, you know. But yeah, it's just very, very strange, and hopefully things are good on Mattel's end, 9 Story's end with Barney, because we are very patiently waiting for something, any sort of morsel that we can take from Barney, like give it to us. We've been waiting even since the Eco Barney came out. We've been wanting something, someone to say something. No one's been saying anything. So yeah, so there we go. There's the piece. There's David Joyner and Barney. This one was a lot of fun. Again, I don't know why it took me so long to do this one. I've been trying to circle by and get to all the different performers, voice actors, and everything. So this one was very, very cool and very nice to work on. And I hope you all enjoyed this one too. I hope you all enjoyed this sort of news intake sort of thing. And if you're watching through a playlist, then this could serve as like a little look back and see what was going on at this point, at that point. I'll probably add like dates and stuff like that. So there is that. And yeah, we're gonna get back into this wow, let me try that again. We're gonna get back in the groove of making videos pretty soon. Again, we just moved into this new place, so we're setting things up still, and just trying to get back into the flow of things. But I will hit you guys up, and we'll be getting more videos out throughout the next coming week. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you all my patrons, and I will talk to you guys and see you guys in the next one. See you. Thank you to Cameron, Chanel, Emilia, Junior the Hedgehog, Nerdy Disney, Megli LVG, Ayumu Kazaga, and Common J for supporting the stage.